trouble getting the feudal lord to pay his share of the debts that were incurred during the Fourth Ninja War and to still fund the village at appropriate levels, because the feudal lord in so many ways basically went, hey fam, we're not at war with each other anymore. We have an alliance, we have a treaty. So what do I need to pay for military costs for? What we're seeing right now is our biggest hint that change, it might be coming to the shinobi system depending on what Shikamaru does in this meeting. He's got to navigate tricky waters, and boy does he ever walk a tight line in his response. He's got Kashi and Koji telling him, hey, you can say what you need to, but don't say anything about 10 directions. And Shikamaru basically tells them that he ordered the mission off good, sound intel and was willing to accept any ramifications had the mission itself failed, but he did what he believed to be in the village's best self-interest due to the wide-scale threat of the Shinju. This leads to the elders outright asking, was your source Boruto? Was he the source of your intel? And they raise the possibility that Boruto is really working with the Shinju and is making a fool out of Konoha for revenge, and they are quickly cut off by Konohamaru, who tries to stand up for Boruto, saying that Boruto saved his life and fought for them on the mission, which as this is happening, Shikamaru is being ordered by Kashi and Koji, let Konohamaru fall on that sword for you. He's a pawn, which shows how dire Shikamaru's situation is. The more eyes that are on him, the more likely it is he gets removed from power, and Kashi and Koji cannot allow that to happen. The elders basically call Konohamaru a fool for trusting in Boruto, reminding him that Boruto killed the 7th Hokage, a close friend and rival of Konohamaru, but there was also a different message sent here that was not spoken. The two elders that you're seeing, they're 91 years old. They remember what happened 22 years ago in the timeline when a 69-year-old 3rd Hokage was killed by Orochimaru. They're mentioning a traitor killing a Hokage to Konohamaru, the grandson of a Hokage, to make him subconsciously think about his grandfather, as if to say, you of all people should have no sympathy towards a Kage killer. Your grandpa who raised you and your rival, they were both killed by traitors. They patronizingly are telling him that Boruto has to be executed. There is no debate here. This is where we learn that Kobu will begin interrogating everyone who ever had conversations and interactions with Boruto, because he needs to find out who was working with Boruto, because there is clearly a mole inside the village helping him, which makes Shikamaru's words in chapter 4 where he tells Kawaki if anyone in the sensory unit was working with Boruto that he would know. Now Shikamaru is the one under fire, and somewhere deep inside of his mind you have to believe that Shikamaru is hoping that Ino does not turn snitch, because Ino quite literally knows everything, and now with Kashi and Koji forcing Inojin to help her, if Ino says the wrong thing, she puts her son in danger as well, which makes you think that Kashi and Koji grabbing Inojin might have been him running a defensive play. Back in Orochimaru's abandoned hideout, Inojin humorously says that using the mind transmission jutsu is breaking all the rules that the Yamanaka clan have for the sensory unit, and asks, is this something you guys do regularly? Which Boruto's expression is driving me right now. He's looking like, dude, you're already helping us, and now you're asking if we would be breaking the rules. And Kashin Koji has to remind him that, hey dude, we're being hunted down, so obviously we break rules. And he states the obvious, Inojin, you're already involved in this, so there's no point in asking for breaking the rules. Boruto, however, tries to soften the blow by reminding his former friend that the Shinju, they are an enemy that doesn't play by the rules either. They have to take whatever measures possible to defeat them, and basically tells Inojin, follow your own heart. He knows this isn't the time to be worried about rule breaking, which causes Inojin to remember his failed attempt to save Himawari from Jura, where he almost joined the Donut Club founded by Ace and Rengoku and Rin Nohara. With this resolve, Kashin Koji and Boruto, they get into a spat, and we see that there's a growing tension between the two. Kashin Koji asks Boruto, did you make your deal with Momoshiki? And when Boruto won't say, Kashin Koji basically calls the guy a brat, and Boruto fires back by saying Koji has no right to get pissed off at him when Koji doesn't tell him everything he needs to know. Kashin Koji defends the fact that he's pulling a Nick Fury from Marvel Comics and only telling the information on a need-to-know basis, because setting up the Sand Village mission in the way that he did it, it caused Sarada to reawaken her Mangekyo Sharingan, and her power will be used to avoid a massive number of people dying in the future, which makes the death of Yodo worth it. And Boruto grows annoyed and he leans back in the chair, telling Kashin Koji get on with it. What we see here is a really good character interaction. It is nature versus nurture on display. Boruto, due to being raised by Naruto and Hinata, he values human life. He'd never be okay with sacrificing, even if it's for the greater good. The same way that Naruto told Obito he would not let any of his friends die, which caused Obito to purposely see if he could break Naruto by killing people like Neji. Naruto stood firm, even after wavering, and Boruto represents that part of his parents, the best part of his parents, their unyielding faith and resolve. Kashin Koji, on the other hand, he represents the darker side of humanity, basically survival, and he is someone who was nurtured by Amato to view things in a calculated manner. He is Jiraiya's clone, but he does not share Jiraiya's moral value. This exchange between these two, it was short, but it was packed with so many layers narratively that it's easily my favorite part of the chapter. After this, Kashin Koji gives Shikamaru a full breakdown on Mamushi's powers and appears to tell him off screen a plan how to defeat Mamushi the way that he did with Matsuri, where he stressed Konohamaru's only chance to survive was to catch Matsuri off guard. He's now giving info on how to take down Mamushi as well. Meanwhile, another battle is heating up, but what we see is another calm before the storm. Ada is asking Sarada if she's gonna confess her love to Boruto, and we see Damon watching her response closely from a distance.
What's up with this
Sarada says that right now really isn't the time because Boruto has too much to deal with and it would only make things weird between them. And after Ada voices her displeasure, Sumire says that she feels the same, but she might confess suddenly, and that's where we see Ada blushing all across the face. She's fangirling as she, for the first time in her life, is getting to enjoy a genuine female connection. However, that's something that she's never had before, yet that's the issue. And once Ada listens to their conversation and recalls how Sarada jumped into the arms of Boruto, Sumire slips up and says what really matters in this moment is Boruto's feelings, and you see the light bulb go off. If you go back to part 1, when Ada was in bed with Sarada and Sumire having the girl talk, trying to have it, she tried to have this same conversation about love with them in that moment, and she was disappointed. She saw both girls pretending to be infatuated with her because of her omnipotence ability. When she used it before she was sealed away, it turned people into simps when they were in her presence. Back then, in that convo, Ada was let down that neither girl would be able to talk about their true feelings. It hurt her if you look at those panels closely from part 1. Yet here, both girls, they're so open with their feelings while in her presence. And this is not the first time this has happened, but this is the second major time it's happened. It happened briefly in chapter 16 when Sumire crashed out and started gaslighting Sarada. The root cause of that was Boruto. In part 1, Ada tried to have a conversation about their feelings with Boruto, and neither girl could talk about it because they were pretending to be enchanted. Ada has now put her pieces together, and it's something that I would suspect she's known for a long time, based on her asking in chapter 1 of Two Blue Vortex if the girls are really under her spell, because they were super concerned about Boruto's safety when they're right there by her. She should have been the only thing that matters, and that's where she asks here, are you truly enchanted by me? As the two girls pause, we see Ada watching them closely, and I would like to draw your attention to something that happened in chapter 16, because this moment was also foreshadowed if you look at the paneling. After Ada's conversation with Kashin Koji and Shikamaru, she repeats the words that Kashin Koji's toad said to her. If you go to page 36, she's saying, quote, follow your own heart, huh, end quote, and her eyes are drawn on that panel where she's looking in the direction of Sumire in the next panel, who is pouting and feeling bad about having gaslighted Sarada. Follow your heart, Ada's omnipotence ability that is in constant effect when people are around her. If you go back to how it was first described, it was described as having the power to control hearts, because she is enchanting the hearts of those around her. Ada thinking to herself, follow your own heart, huh? This was foreshadowing. Yet when Sumire crashed out, it showed a concrete sign that what she thought was going on with those girls was not actually happening, that they might have been immune. And now, with this love talk that is happening right here in front of her, as deep as it is, she's now confirmed that unspoken theory. Ada takes their silence to apply a little pressure, while Damon gives both of those girls the same narrow-eyed look he gave to Code before he beat him like a Cherokee drum. Ada states that they made the mistake and they didn't even realize it. They talked about being in love with someone while standing in her presence, which should not have been the case. It's never happened before. When Ada is in front of someone, Ada becomes her sole focus and they simp over her. That's why she looks so annoyed in part 1 when trying to have that love talk with the girls about Boruto and Kawaki. Two very similar scenarios, but two different responses that contradict. There is no gray area with her power. You're either infatuated with her or you're not.
Then a pause. Okay.
Had they been outside of her presence like they were in the last chapter, it wouldn't have been an issue. Notice she said, while I'm in front of you, before she pauses. Let's use an example. If Shikamaru is in front of Ada or he's interacting with her, he is her simp. He is captivated by her. Tamari could be in a bathing suit right in front of him. She's a distant second. The only thing that matters is Ada. However, if Shikamaru is home alone with his wife, Tamari, she's the first thing on his mind because Ada's not in front of him.
Okay, bro,
Ada's
we get
not
it,
speaking
bro.
to him, towards them, and knows this. And now the girls know this as well. And Damon, he's heard enough. He goes from having been leaned against the wall to outright jumping towards them. And Sarada quickly cuts on a Mangekyo Sharingan, but it doesn't matter. Damon blitzes the two girls, and just as Sarada turns her head before Damon can land on the other side of the couch, which that's a huge disadvantage to both girls, it's easier for Damon to get the drop on them. Someone like Sarada's got to stand up to try to react, which requires more time and effort. But he grabs the back of their necks with his hands around their throats and issues a warning to Sarada. She might have the Mangekyo Sharingan, but she'll never get the chance to use it. And the reason he can say that so confidently is that he has his palms touching on Sarada, and he was able to get the drop on her without even having to use his full power. The moment she even tries to use her Ohirume or her second Mangekyo Sharingan power, it's reflected back onto her stronger than before, and it would kill her. And that's where our chapter ends off, with Ada watching the situation and Damon making his threats to the two girls who slipped up and exposed themselves to Ada. After 3 long years of deception, the mask, it appears to have finally cracked, and the Chekhov's gun, it has finally been fired. Shikamaru warned they could not get caught, and if they did, Damon would attack them since they are a threat to Ada. Now we wait for the second Chekhov's gun to be shot off, which is Ada's genuine connection for female companionship, for ordinary friendship. Does their opening up to her so comfortably cause her to value what could be the very friendship that Sarada extended to her in part 1? Or does this deception over the last 3 years make her angry enough that she unleashes Damon in full on them? But for that answer, we have to go to chapter 27. But in the meantime, click here to watch my mega breakdown on what I'm calling the Sarada Awakening arc, or the show.
Okay.
How long could you secretly live in a mall? To find out, I went to the most extreme lengths. I'm talking secret hideouts, advanced disguises, and doing literally anything to escape security.
If I get caught right now, it's over. Oh my gosh.
All this to answer one question. Go. And the first day of my new life starts right now.
Man, this is a big mall, bro. Welcome home, brother.
This is pretty epic.
All right, the first goal in our survival checklist is to find food.
We have no monies.
We can just fish quarters out of the fountain, right?
What's the real plan?
No, I'm serious. I brought a fish net. We're gonna take coins out of the fountain. The only problem with this spot is that there are 9 floors of people above us who could watch us. Not ideal.
You good, Rick? Stop it, Rick.
Oh, it works so well.
How much cheddar cheese is that?
Dude.
Yo, we just printed money. Oh, do it again. You're getting too greedy, Rick.
I've always wanted to do this, bro. I'm targeting the quarters, and it's working.
Oh my gosh, we're rich.
We're rich.
Oh, that's up.
The second we started raking in money for food, an employee and security had us stopped right in our tracks.
Are we ready?
No.
So Tyler and I booked it and went upstairs to
Bro,
Cal.
he did nothing, bro. I like how they make it try to seem like more than it is, bro. It's not that serious, gang. Oh my god, bro. What is popping with the world, bro? Popping. Brandon, which is hopping. I got options. Okay, bro. What is this? What has been popping in the world, bro? What has been popping on this neck of the woods, bro? I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been posted up on TikTok.
How much is the Nintendo Switch?
You like computer kids.